Just because your low ticket offer did not sell in 7 days does not mean it's broken. And it does not mean that you're bad at this, but your brain will tell you that it is. Hey, it's your girl Sherry Summer Bell, and I want to talk about having data over drama. And let me know this: have you ever launch a low ticket offer out there and then immediately start running to see your sales, or you saw zero sales and you start feeling like, oh my god, maybe I need to go recreate another, craft another mini course, or you start looking at the landing page and say, why is not enough people landing on the landing page, and you start just freaking out. And that's, I want to kind of caution you, because that's your nervous system speaking. And we want to help you have more information so you can make active decision, instead of feeling like you are all over the place, or feeling like you're not good enough and you start taking it personal and then start having drama. So of course, I have my notes here. So if you see me looking down, I got my notes ready for you today. And today we're going to separate the data and the drama, because one will build you and the other will bankrupt your emotions. Which one it is? So one will build you and one will bankrupt your emotions, and we don't want that for you. So I know this all too well, because this was the emotional, I want to make sure I'm saying that, were emotional neurological things I was having when I was launching my low ticket offer. I remember one day, because we were making sales every single day, and this particular day, the daytime, no sales come in, and that dopamine effect was so bad, right? I felt like I was like, I don't want to say the word because I want you to ding my channel, but you know what I mean. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I started now, just so I won't be high on this dopamine. Like the sales are coming in. There's a day sales don't come in, and I started freaking out. I end up turning off all my notifications, so I don't even want to know. That's to regulate my nervous system. But then that night, all the sales started coming in, so I guess people are kind of like relaxed at home, and then they're like, okay, well, let me just look at the website that I saved somewhere on my notepad. But it was really crazy, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that has done that, and suddenly question your entire business. Like the sale didn't come in, so you just started questioning your life. Like, do I need to give up? Is this working? Is this what I need to be doing? Trust me, I've been there. So I really wanted to talk to you who have that drama about this. And you're like, okay, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Ready to throw the baby in with the bathwater. But I'm here to caution you a little bit. I'm here to talk to you because that the other day when I decided to relaunch my buyer ready messaging matrix, I added some bonuses in there, and I also added a new training in there, and I also up level the training. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so good. I mean, literally when I was creating training, I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Phase 2 is so much better. And when it's time for me to launch it out there, instead of me going back the same way how I did, the same way how I did my ads, I decided that no, I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm going to relaunch, but this time I'm going to have different messaging. I'm going to have different things. And what I did not know, that it was going to cost me more to start a new campaign versus the campaign that was already working. And that dinged me, because for the first 2 3 days there was no sales coming in, because the campaign was like, hey, this is a new campaign, I'm trying to look for the people, and I didn't go back to my old campaign that was working. So that was on my bad. But that was on my bad. But I started questioning my whole business. The majority of being an entrepreneur, I started questioning my own business. Now, listen, I don't want to feel like I'm alone. So go ahead in the comments right now. Tell me, have you ever had that feeling? It may not even just be low ticket, launching a masterclass, a challenge. People are not signing up. You're like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Do I need to change my skill? Do I need to get into a different industry? And I see it all the time, where people use their nervous system to make decision out of premature information and then decide to do something else, right? I cannot tell you how I have seen real estate agents who are so good at what they do, and they'll have like a slow month or a slow week or something, and they're like, oh, I want to do AI now. And they're moving to AI and doing AI just because they're feeling like, okay, let me go over here in the tech space and abandon ship over here because the result wasn't what I thought it was going to be fast enough. I've seen people in the insurance space that does it as well, it's where they start insurance and they're not able to generate that lead fast enough because they're trying to get the leads done, then they're trying to get their sales psychology done, and they just started freaking out, right? And all these people in this space that have created some type of low ticket offer, and they're like, listen, nobody's buying this front end low ticket offer. I don't think it's working for me, so I'm just ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. When truth of the matter is, sometimes just having enough data can tweak the system. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, from day one, when you see looking like day one nothing, day two nothing. So we're going to talk about emotional regulation moment. I literally grabbed my notes and I want to go over some things that I wrote here on my notes for you so we can share the screen together so I can go over what that looks like. Now, I talk about emotional regulation, and when it comes to that low ticket math, but your brain treats it like it's validation. So that's the problem. When you sell something at 17, 27, $47, you're not measuring worth, you're measuring conversion behavior at scale. And scale requires traffic. Okay? Scale requires traffic. So no traffic equals no data. And no data, no information, no decision. But your emotional brain doesn't care about that. It just wants proof. So let's calm it down with some facts, right? So we know that our emotion brain is like, okay, what is going on? This is not working. Instead of just saying, hey, I just need to fix this. I just need to start driving traffic. What am I doing to not drive traffic? So when you're selling something for 17, 27, $47, you're not measuring the worthiness, you're measuring the conversion behavior at scale. So if we're talking about scaling requires traffic, right? So it's not, it has nothing to do with your offer is not well, your offer doesn't help people, your offer doesn't solve a problem. It has nothing to do with that. Matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. Your offer could be amazing. It's just this part of marketing where you're learning how to drive traffic. That's where the information and comes in. So because if you have traffic, then you have the data. So, but guess what? Our emotional brain, baby, we're like, we need to see something going on. We need to see some type of demand of what we're saying going on. We need to see somebody being added to our email list. Something, we need to see some type of Stripe account alert going off or something. And I get it, and I totally get it. And that's why I even create all of these notes for you. So I wanted you to kind of take the conversation to another level because I want to be able to kind of let you know what that looks like. So let's go over some so we can prevent having data. Okay, we can prevent having drama. Let's go over some data that we need to look at when we're creating our low ticket offer, what that needs to look like for you. What are some things that we're paying attention to? Now, when it comes to your low ticket offer that you're selling, we want to talk about your landing page view. So when we talk about your landing page view, we want to make sure that you understand that is a place that you go to get all the information that you desire. That is a place that you go to say, okay, let me see what I need here. Because if you don't have that, if your landing page view is not telling you the information that you need to know, that will stop you in your tracks. That will stop your business in your tracks. So I want to share my screen with you again and kind of talk about what is the landing page view. What do you need to look at when it comes to looking at your landing page? All right. So landing page view. This tells you how many times the page was loaded. So let's say, for instance, your number is under 100 views. You don't have a conversion problem. You have a traffic problem, right? So if you just created a mini course teaching people a hyper specific problem, and you put it out there in the world. And when you put it out there in the world, there's no one coming to that landing page, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on? My offer is not good. Nobody wants my offer. Well, baby, they didn't even come to the page yet. You're not even getting them to be curious enough to come to the page yet. But you're thinking, oh, I need to change my landing page. And and you start making all these tweaks that was so unnecessary because you're not even in the back end. You started changing your mini course and all this stuff. You're like, you don't have enough data to be doing all that yet. So if your number is under 100, you don't have a conversion problem, you have a traffic problem. So a low ticket typically needs volume. So you cannot judge a conversion on 37 visitors. That's not mature. That's impatient. That's impatient. When I was writing the word, writing the planning for this video, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be like crazy. People are like, okay, sure, I know I'm impatient, but oh well. So I'm gonna take a look at. I'm gonna show you on my whiteboard what I mean by that. So stick with me. So that's your landing page view. Now let's talk about your unique view because there's a difference between your landing page view and your unique visitors. So this is different. If one person refresh the page 10 times, that counted as 10 views, but one unique visitor. So again, so if someone come to your page for the first time, but they refresh it 2 to 3 times, right, on that page, if that one person refreshes that page 10 times, that count as 10 views, but one unique view. So unique visitor tell you how many actual human saw the offer. So if you only have 60 unique visitors, you cannot expect 20 sales. You don't have statistical weight yet to say that this thing is or is not working. Now, let me also change screen, go to my whiteboard so we can kind of break that down because I wish someone would tell Miss Data over drama. I'm saving you so much time and energy so you don't freak out. So when you're looking at your customer relationship manager, which is your CRM or your website, wherever you go to get your data, your statistics of your low ticket offer that you're selling, number one, it should be a requirement for you to check this on a daily basis. Okay. The reason why, when you started getting in love with low ticket math, you can literally start seeing, okay, I'm about to get a sale right now. Like you can literally start seeing when you get obsessed with this part of your business, you know when your clients are, you can have predictable, consistent, predictable revenue because you understand the data so well. So most of the time, a customer relationship manager may have a landing page view, or it may have, let me go ahead and kind of show you an example of something that we got going on. I'm going to show you I like to show and tell. So here is the behind the scenes of one of my customer relationship manager, right? So this is one of our ads that we're running right now. It's called How to Be Demand and Paid. This is a free digital course. We also have it below this video as well. This is a free video just talking about how to position your business to turn daily sales into multiple sales on repeat, so you can build that business where you can go get your nails done at 10 o'clock and still making sales, so still making the money for whatever the nail costs. And as you can tell here in our How to Be Demand and Paid, right now, this is what I mean by when I says your pages. So you have all views. So and again, this is just from one day. It's not even a full day because it was the 24th, 25th, February 24th, 25th, right? So I'm looking at page views, and in the page views, it says all 31 visitors. So as I previously stated, this would be considered the landing page view right here. So this would be considered the landing page. 31 people has came, viewed, and refreshed. and refresh. So for example, if one person came, look at the landing page, and then when they look at that landing page, they refresh and went back to it, or went home and went back to it because they were busy, and they go back to that landing page, it's counted, right? It's counted several times. So I'm not looking at this number to make a decision. I'm looking at technically my unique view, because the unique view count the person one time. If they came back 5 times, they're still counted as one. So it says, okay, so 31 times it's been refreshed, but 30 human beings has came to this website as of the 24th through the 25th. Out of the 30 people that have seen that website, 4 people have opted in to the demand and paid. And with the 4 people that have opted in, it has a 13% opt-in rate, right? It has a 13% opt-in rate. So I can look at this like, oh my God, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, but it's not even enough leads for me to make any back end decision. It's not enough leads to make any back end decision for me to. This is a whole masterclass. I just want to pause for the cause. Like, this is something you would have to pay somebody to get. Like, this is a whole masterclass here. So if my emotions are going to be telling me, oh my God, is only 4 people opt in. Well, if we just go by what we just said, about 100 people need to come to the page, and we already have 30 people come in and 30 people is opting in. Listen, we can pretty much say of every 30 person that come, 4 people are going to opt in, right? We can start there if we really want to, if we wanted to really do low key math. But the idea here is, you really have to understand the data, and the data, because the data tell us what decisions that we need to make. So I just wanted you to see, when I was talking about landing page view, this is right here. When we were talking about landing page view, this is what we mean. The 31 is the landing page view, how many times a person came and refreshed and look at the same page. But the unique view is actually how many humans, new human is coming. So the question I would have to ask myself, which I go back to my whiteboard, the question I would ask myself, so I can have data over having drama, the questions that I would ask myself is, have enough people seeing it? And the answer is no, because we just said our goal is having that 100 people come in. It's only 30 human beings that has come, right? Have came to the page. But even out of that 30, 4 have, I'm sorry, let's start over. We are looking for 100 people right here. So let's say all in was 50. I was giving an example here. That's what it was. Okay, good. I was a little bit confused at the time, but I got it now. All right. So let's say all in 59 people have came to visit, and out of that 59, 50 human beings has came because it's a unique visitor. So these are the real actual human that counted as one. My decision is going to be based on the 50. It's not going to be based on the 59. But what does the landing page view does? It actually tells me that people are interested. They're looking, they go away, they come back. So landing page view has its benefit, because it's telling me that it's staying top of mind with that person. That person keep coming back, checking that website. And I think sometimes when we're dealing with different buyers inside our buyer ready messaging matrix, we talk about those 2 type of buyers, or emotional, logical buyers. In this space, sometimes a logical buyer like myself, I'm like, okay, does this make sense? Will it work for you? Can I make my money back, or can I double what I made? Boom, yes, it's a yes for me. But you may have the emotional buyers that have to emotionally ask them, kind of tell them they're buying off their emotions based on how this thing is going to make them believe about themselves. A logical buyer takes a little bit longer, because they're checking. It has to make sense for them. Everything with me has everything I do has to make sense for me. Like, I won't hire a cleaner till I say, okay, what is the return on investment in doing that? That's how I am. So So when you're dealing with an emotion logical buyer, they're saving the link, they're getting back to it, they're putting it in, they're putting the link inside of their notepad to save it so they can remember to get back to it. So that's all of what's happening here. That's all of what's happening in All Visitor. Another thing too, why All Visitor is also great, when you're running ads, which we're going to get to in just a second, when you're running ads, sometimes that person will see your ad and then but did not buy from the actual ad. They'll save the link and then take it to a and save it in their notepad on their phone, on their iPhone. And then days later they go back and click that same link that they saved in their notepad, and you make a sale. Now, but if you check your ad will say, oh, it'll say you have 2 sales when technically you may have 3 because that person saved it. So the ads did not count. The ads, that sale did not count as part of the ad, but truth of the matter is it was. And that was big for me. When we made our 100+ sales, so most of those people did that. So having the landing page view, the All Visitor, that really helped, because that tells me that people are interested. They're still coming back. They're still learning. So when we're looking at the All Visitor, which is what we'll call our landing page view, when we're looking at the All Visitor, it's the goal of that is to understand, are you still top of mind? Is people still coming back refreshed and looking at it? And then when we talk about the goal for the so people are they're coming back. So they're coming back. I'm top of mind. And then a unique visitor is actually new faces, how much new human beings are seeing it, right? How many new human beings are seeing it? So it's a funnel in itself. So those are really things you want to talk about. Okay, well, each day you're looking at is based on the content that I put out today. How many people came to my site? Here's another thing I want to say when it comes to low ticket and having data over drama, which validate why you should create that low ticket and drive traffic from YouTube as well. Because there are times when people watch my YouTube video, and it's a video that I've done 6 or 7, 8 days ago, and they click the link then as well. So they become a new person, even though that's not the newest content that I did that day. And it's same thing maybe on your IG account too. But the goal is your videos live on. That I digress. But you got my point. The idea here is creating content, which I did a whole training on this on the last video I did. Work less. I think it's called work less, make more. That video. The idea behind that is the fact that you have the ability to see that you are still being top of mind. So there's 90% of the time, there's nothing for you to do. It's just having patience, right? And putting out more high quality content. So let's get back to our data so we can get more informed on what that looks like. All right. So, yeah, so we have it here. Let's go back to here. Now, so we went over the unique visitor. Let's go over what the conversion rate kind of look like. So this is a percent of visitors who bought your low ticket from 1% to 5%. That's normal. So let's do the math. If 100 people see the page and converted at 2%, that's 2 sales, right? So for every 100 person that see your offer and you converted, that's 2 sales. For every 100 people that see your offer and you get 2 sales, 2%. So that's not failure, that's math. That's math. If you want 10 sales at 2%, then you know you need 500 visitors. Now, is it set in stone? No, it's not, but it's a good metrics to go off. So this is where maturity comes in, right? This is the same thing when we talk about cost per click. If your cost per click is too high, that affects your margin. So if you're paying $3 per click on a $17 product, you need a stronger back end to make up the difference, or ascension, a stronger back end ascension, like your AOV, your average order value. So otherwise your numbers won't make sense. So that's not drama, that's optimization. So it's the same thing with your click through rate. If people aren't clicking on your ad or email, it's not a sales problem. It's a message hook. That's why we have the buyer rated message. It's a message hook. It's a different stage. It's a different fix. So don't rebuild a product when the headline is the issue. And I'm telling you this, but I had to tell myself this as a lot. I had to tell myself this is where A/B testing come in as well. But I have to be honest. I had to tell myself the same. I had to tell myself the same thing. So don't rebuild a product when the headline is the issue. All right, so let's go into our maturity mindset shift on this, right? Our maturity mindset shift. Oh, I gotta write these things. All right. Okay, crazy. Okay. And I see it happen all the time where if people aren't clicking on your ad, that means that you have a low ad. If you're not getting into that 100 and people are not clicking on your ad or your email, it's not a sales problem. It's a messaging hook. So you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. And so now that we kind of have that conversation, let's go over our maturity mindset shift. So our emotion says this isn't working, but data say you need 400 more visitors. So instead of having emotional issues about it, let's go out there and get the 400 visitors. Our emotion says maybe I should scrap this and that's what my emotion says sometimes. But the data says your conversion rate is 3%, and that's healthy. Your emotion collapse identity, data refine strategy. Just stay there for a second. Emotion collapse identity and data refine strategy. So, with that being said, so if you're saying that low ticket is not working, when it's never that the low ticket is not working, it's the data you're not understanding how to read the data. And that's why I'm here. Why I'm here to help you as well. We want to make sure that you understand how the data works. Because more than likely, it's a data issue, not more than likely it's a data issue. And if the woman who scale low ticket is the woman who choose data over drama, the women who scale when it comes to low ticket are the women who choose data over drama every time. So if you're building a low ticket ecosystem and you cannot afford your emotional decisions to make the decision, I just want to say that to you because low ticket is not about ego, it's about volume, optimization, and ascension. Volume, optimization, and ascension. The more volume you get in, you get the data, learning how to optimize from the data that you have, and learning how to ascend in the back end to get repeat buyers. But the click-through rate and the landing page and the unique visitor, all of these things I just went through, what it does, it tells you what need to be fixed based on 100 visitor on your page. So what would I do? What's your action plan? Your action plan is whatever the low ticket thing that you're selling to put yourself out there and solve a problem, whatever that hyper specific thing that you're putting out there. You need at least start with at least 100 people coming to your website to your and unique visitors first before you decide that, hey, do I need to change this, do I need to change that. Do every day you wake up is to try to get 100 people to your website. If you can get 100 people a day, that's a game changer. So if you have any questions about data over drama, because I literally had to work on my emotional regulations in looking at an offer, looking at something I'm selling for low ticket and making sure that I read the data correctly. And I know that can be a bit challenging. Go ahead and drop your questions below. And I promise you, we're going to work through all of the questions together because I know this is where people get the hook up. The hang up on is nobody want my offer, or is it not enough people seeing it? And 90% of the time it's because not enough people are seeing it. That's all I got for you today. It's your girl Sherry Summer Bell. Make sure you comment below, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop it below. See you in our next video.